Alright guys, what's up? This is Croy, and we're going to do a little change of pace for this video. We're going to play on full tilt, and we're going to play 500 regular speed against a guy named KC Money 349A. Never played this guy before, no information on him going in, so alright, we'll see how it goes. Right off the bat, we have 8-6, just going to fold. We'll see how he plays a little bit later, and we'll adjust accordingly. Like, I don't feel the need to come out right away and just and play all those hands. Okay, we have a 9-7. We're gonna defend to a min raise. Flop dare. We're gonna check and see what he does. Again, not going to really get too bluffy early, so I'm just going to give him it. Just going to play pretty standard until we pick up a few reads. Got a Jack-10 suited, we're going to triple it. We just flopped a straight. Going to lead out for 2/3 pot. And he called pretty quickly. I think this is a pretty good card for us. Especially if he leads out, then I think there's a pretty good chance he has an 8. So we're gonna make a little come with us raise to 350, and we're obviously calling a shove. Okay, he obliged and called. Now I'd either put him on a queen, or I think there's a pretty good chance he has an 8. So I think there's a good chance we're getting called. I'm not sure if we're gonna get called by a shove, so we're gonna bet like a healthy bet of 580 after a little bit of deliberation, and he folded. So maybe he picked up a spade draw, but I thought there was a pretty good chance that he connected with that board. Okay, we have 2 7s here. He just lost a pot. We're gonna put in a healthy 3-bet and don't mind getting it all in here. If we do get it all in, then we'll still be left with 840 chips, but I think that's a good spot to pick it up or 3-bet. I think just because he lost the last hand, he might be willing to shove lighter with pocket pairs, and we're happy to get into a race situation if it dictates. I mean, anytime you get in a race situation there, and you're going to be left over with whatever was 840 chips, it's 50% plus to beat him, and so I think it's a good spot to do that. Alright, we'll defend with the 10-8. It's been tripling a decent amount so far in the limited hands we've seen. And he fires out a full pot bet, which I don't believe he has a hand here. I'm going to call and check the turn on any card. That's a good card for us, and obviously be willing to get it in. I think that he's going to bet the turn here a lot, no matter what he has, thinking we might just call with ace high. So I was just hoping that pretty much any card under a 10 peeled off, and I think that there's a good chance he's going to bet. He does. Not going anywhere. And there could be some scarier cards that come up, like Jack, Queen, King, Ace. You never know what he might have. So we're getting it in here. If we're beat, we're beat. I don't think he has a 6 really ever. I think he was bluffing a very high percentage of the time on that flop, and he's frustrated by the sequence of events. And this wow just confirms that he didn't have a hand, and yeah, we were golden. All right, just gonna limp here with 25 big blinds effective, and just gonna fire out min bets. He calls, turns a 3rd diamond. Just going to check behind. I really see not too much value betting here. Hit a queen. I think he has a 4 or 6, and I think there's a good chance he'll call 40. So that's probably, yeah, he had a 3. But if we bet and get raised there, we can't call, so we just have queen high at the moment. Gonna limp again. The king 4. Was kind of expecting him to get fed up. We're fine with that. If he wants to shove, I mean, we'll adjust. If we pick up a big hand, we'll also limp that. Alright, we have Queen Jack. I'm going to limp again and fold to a shove. Hit a very good flop here. Going to fire out a min bet on him. He called very quickly. Now, this turn I do feel like we need to bet and have no problem getting it in. He calls again. And I don't think we can be behind again, so we're going to bet. We're going to bet a little over half the pot, 110. And again, I think he's going to call. He's just getting fed up. No, he did fold. But I think he would call with any of those hands just because of the way that the match is going. Shoves here just really quickly. Not going to call with the king 2. Can wait for a much better spot. Just going to fold the 9-3. And that hand, if he shoves, obviously we're calling with the ace-7. Going to get this hand replay reviewer for post-match. Yep, just folding that all day. Not picking up too many hands on the button, but that's the advantage of picking up a nice chip lead. We can afford to be a little more patient and selective. Yeah, just gonna keep folding. I don't mind limping there with the intention of min betting any flop. Sometimes I think that our limp looks scary to him. Then again, I mean, if he probably has a king queen or ace high, he's gonna probably just ship it from the big blind. Okay, we're gonna do what we just planned on doing the last hand with the jack 4. And this is a pretty good. If he doesn't bet out, this is a good flop to min bet. If he bets, we're obviously dumping. Yeah, not worth it. He's getting it in with an 8 or a 10 or a heart draw, so not worth trying to put in a little baby bluff raise. Okay, 3-5 flopped bottom pair. And he bets out the pot. I mean, we could be good here, but I don't think it's worth it to call. Those are spots where there's a pretty good chance that we're good, but he's probably going to make us pay even if we aren't good. And there are a lot of scary cards that can come out. Okay, 5-5 king. We're going to min bet that flop. Turn to pair. Happy to try and check down. Okay, so we've lost a lot of pots consecutively. Picked up ace jack, gonna quick raise it and folds. Picked up a king high. I'm gonna mix it up and min raise it. Just build a little pot. Check behind on the flop. We flopped a backdoor flush draw, and again we're missing flops right now, and we're not picking up any solid hands pre-flops. So have really no problem waiting here. Okay, this is the first hand he's tripled in a long time. I don't know. I don't feel like shipping it in here, and I don't know. I'll call. I don't really feel like shipping. I think that he's obviously calling any hand that beats us, and just folding. Okay, we're gonna min raise the 9-10 again, and we're just gonna try to play more effective small ball. We haven't really. I think we had him down to about 300 and change. We haven't. It hasn't really been successful for us so far. Okay, we flopped the middle pair here. I don't think he has an ace. I think he's just firing out a min bet. So we're going to make it 90 and protect our hand. Okay, he calls, and I don't mind getting it in here. If he has an ace, he has an ace. But I think he's going to call us with a 6. So yeah. So we're good on both the flop and the turn. We got a 6-7 here. Limp it in. Folding to a shove. And since we're showing a lot of patience, we are almost for surely going to get it in good based on the amount of times he's shoved. So it's just a matter of time. We just don't want him to get up to like 700, 800 chips. That if when we do get it in good, hopefully, that if we do lose, he's not back to even. Okay, min raise the 9s. He shoves. We call. He has the ace jack. Good board for us and bad river. So we lost a coin flip there. Back to 1850 to 1150. Yeah, nothing much we can do there. Now I'm going to go back to, now that we're a lot more big blinds deep, I'm going to go back to 3xing it. Okay, we flopped a gut shot. Happy to take a free one off. And I think we're good here a lot, but I don't really want to put a bet out. Happy to check it down. Rivered our straight. Bets out 90. We're just going to make a smaller raise so that maybe he'll call us with if he has a 3 or a 6. Don't really want to make a huge raise. And he probably was just bluffing. So rivered a nice hand there. Okay, the Jack 5 suited. Happy to put in a min raise. I'm going to fire out a 3/4 pot continuation bet. And he shoves on us. Obviously, he can't call. I like to mix up my C betting percentage. Okay, we have a 9-6 here. I'll defend for the min. And alright, we flopped bottom pair with 6-high flush draw. He leads out minimum, which is either a really, really big hand or just nothing. Alright, we turn trips, but I'm still pretty cautious about this one. He's betting out really quickly. I'm just going to call. And unless that's a pretty good river for us. Then we'll fire out half pot, and I don't want to see him shove. But we're just making it for value. And he gives another wow, which makes me think that we might have been beat for that, or not. Okay, 4xing it with these deuces. Happy to get it in what's going to be a coin flip a lot. Again, the more coin flips you put on, you put people in, obviously the better chance you're going to win. Now we want to get better than coin flips, but whenever we have them 3-1, we're more than happy to get coin flip situations. Okay, let's see what he had on this 9-6 hand. Now he did have Queen Jack, so he did flop a big hand. Okay, he min raised after some deliberation. We're still shoving with the ace high here, and he beats us into the pot with King Jack. So we'll see if we can. Nope, another loss. Okay, so not getting too lucky so far. Lost a flip and then lost around a 60-40. So there's, again, we're still even with him. So that says we're doing something right by grinding him down. All right, he triples from the button. We're going to defend here with a very pretty hand, Queen 9 spades, flop top pair against him. Very don't mind getting it in there at all. He checks behind the flop though. Bet 2/3 pot. He calls pretty quickly, and it makes me think that he has an ace high. So we're going to fire out a quick bet and hope to get called by that, because all the draws missed. And he folds. I'm going to limp the 9-7 here. And that makes me think that he might have had the check fold button on. So I'm going to fire out a min bet. Anytime that somebody insta-checks like that, it probably means that they had this button clicked. So a min bet will take it down a pretty high percentage of the time on the flop when you do limp. Alright, good hand from this big blind. Going to 4x it. He calls out of position. We flop a great flop for us. And while I'm tempted to check it, I'm just going to bet because he's going to get any pair in here with us. And now the pot's healthy enough, I don't really want to give him a chance to draw if he's drawing. And he's still getting in with us with a pair. So, but he folds that. I don't really know what that hand was. I don't know, he's played some hands interesting. This is another pretty quick check. I'm going to fire out another min bet, see if that works. And the power of the min bet is it only has to work a small percentage of the time, and when we have a hand like this, we have backdoor draws. We can hit our queen or 9, which are probably going to be good. And if he would have checked behind, that would have been a good card to bluff. I would have fired out probably 100, but he bets out, and we fold. Ace 5 here. I think we're gonna. That's a weird raise. I don't feel good about this really, but just based on them, I'm getting in an ace for this few big blinds. But that's weird. That was his first typed in. I mean, he folded, but yeah, I don't feel too good about that. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Can't really be results oriented, but that was interesting that it was his first raise. That King 10 hand, we were happy to get in there when he had. Okay, hold on. Limping the Queen 7. When he had. Let me check how many chips he had. I'm sorry. Yeah, when he had 6-15 chips. Again, happy to take a 60-40 on the good end or the bad end, or take a race situation in that spot. Again, this is another hand that I'm more than comfortable getting in here. So I'm just going to shove. Not going to make it 160 and have him call. And then just flop air. I think it's really important to try to take as many chances to eliminate your opponent as you can. Getting it in 60-40, 50-50, or 40-60 situations. I think that whenever we have him chipped down pretty low, we're going with any ace, we're going with any decent king. We won't go with the Jack 3, however. Alright, Queen 4. Gonna limp it. Don't really want to raise it and get it in against him. And we've been firing out a lot of min bets, so I think that if he had. This hand could connect him a lot, so I'm going to check. And we'll just give it to him. Frustrating him folding when we have pretty good hand in the big. Alright, gonna limp these jacks now. Not a good flop. Happy to check behind there. And we're gonna fire out a min bet on the turn. We'll see if he does it for us. Yeah, he did fire a min bet. We're just gonna call it and see what he does on the river. River's a deuce. If he checks, I'm probably gonna. This is interesting. I think the only hand he could have here is a deuce, but I think that he's gonna have like a 3-4 and 4-5 a lot. I don't think he has a queen. I don't think he has an ace, really, ever. So I think the only hand that beats us is a deuce, so I'm going to call. And he does. He was bluffing us. So those are the kind of hands you just have to think about, really, what... Like, even though an ace beat us, which an ace is just really unlikely, and a queen beat us, he's not going to value bet a queen like that. Alright, we're shipping the jack 5 in, and we're up against ace 8. Another chance to eliminate him. And we did this time by hitting a straight. And we'll accept a rematch if he wants to play again. He doesn't want to play again. And I think it was a pretty good match we played there. Didn't really get it in any troublesome situations. I think we played about 70 hands, so there aren't going to be really many interesting hands to recap. Trying to funnel through here real quick. This king 6 was a pretty interesting hand. Didn't think that the way he was playing he'd limp an ace. I think he would have 3x'd it. And so he limped and we checked. Sorry if it's a little too small. I don't think I can expand this. And the flop came ace 6 2 rainbow. He checked. He made a min bet, which he wasn't really doing. He wasn't making too many min bets, if I recall. He was making a lot more pot size bets, and we wanted to protect our hand. Any card that comes off could be a bad card for us, really, and other than a king or 6, or probably an ace. And we min bet, or he min bet, and we made it 90, called. And when the turn was an ace, and we really didn't put him on an ace, and we think he'll get a 6 in, or he'll get it maybe an even worse than that. Maybe he'll call with a pair of deuces. We said we're going to just commit to the hand. And we bet 150 and he folded. So he might have had a gut shot. He might have just had queen high. Who knows? There's the race we lost. Yeah, that hand we played pretty slowly. Bow and river the boat. We bet half pot for value. But that flop min bet was a little bit scary. So that's why we just played it pretty cautiously up until the river. Again, losing another virtual flip. And so I think that was a pretty good match. Let me pause this and wait for the next one. Alright guys, here's our second match against the guy I have a little bit of history with on Stars, Eric Geller. He's a guy who's talked some stuff, talked some trash to me before, and I've reciprocated, which I don't usually advocate, but alright, so he folds and we have 2 9s. We're going to start off this match pretty aggressively. Again, this is another 500 on full tilt. 3 bet us here. This is the hand that I could go either way on. Just because we've had a lot of history and I know that he's going to 3 bet me light, I am going to call, and for drama's sake, I'm going to peel it. Actually, it was a terrible peel. I couldn't even peel it. So, okay, we flop middle pair. Interesting flop. Checks to us. We're gonna check behind, see what the turn brings. A decent card for us. Gives us an open ender. He bets 2/3 pot. Not really sold on him having a hand. Not necessarily. So we call, and we don't want to see him bet the river here. That'd be scary because he could try to take us value down with a hand like ace 10. But I might get tricky and shove this river if he is trying to value us, because I'm gonna make it tough for him to call with a 10. Yeah, I'm gonna do something just because we have a little bit of history, and just to set up future matches. If he does call and beat us, and he actually had 10-9, so not a good hand. I'm going to try to set up another match with him. Not a good hand for us. the read like that just goes to show that I mean I don't always make the right reads, and that read was just apparently way off. We'll accept the rematch and see if he wants to play again. Okay, he does play again. So now but he did three bet us there. Let me unregister from these before we start it up. Yeah, did not. And alright, now for future reference, what I'm taking note from is whenever he does those pauses like that, like he paused before his river bet, then that's going to mean that he has a pretty big hand. And his three betting range is pretty wide, I guess. So we're going to make those adjustments, and we're going to do our best to beat him here. Going to start off aggressive again, tripling from the button with a lot of hands. That's how I start most matches off. It's important not to, after a hand like that happens, that hand sucked, but it's important not to tilt. I'm not going to gain anything by it. It's only going to cost me money in the long run, and so you just have to play smart and always stay emotionally calm. Alright, three bet us here. Just going to fold our king 8. And I don't know this guy's stats on SharkScope, but he's not, and I don't know what it is on what it is on here, but having played with him, don't really think that he's that good of a player. I guess he made me look silly on that 10-9 hand, but didn't really have that hand in his range. And I wanted to set it up for future matches, because we've played a lot of matches, and I think that that'll help us to get called a little bit later whenever we do have it. But again, just important not to get flustered on that hand. Just a total misread. When we actually did, we could have. I mean, we were basically just trying to get him to fold a 10, and it would have worked on hands that he was bluffing. And I really didn't think he had a 9. Okay, just gonna fold. Going to play pretty tight in this match, I think. Post flop, because I don't think that in our past matches, I don't think he believes me really on anything. So now we flop 2 pair here. Based on the way our history is of him having played against me, he probably does have Queen Jack here. I also think that he's going to call a lot of our 3 bets. I'm going to test him here with this Queen 9. This is a hand that plays pretty well post flop. And I'm going to see if he's going to call or shove. Well, he's just playing really monkey aggressive and just forced to fold it. Triple here with this King Queen. He called, we flop the top pair. Gonna fire out 2/3 and get on him. And he just open jams. He easily could be doing this with a hand like King 7 or King 6, just because I don't think I'm folding that. he could have 8-9. He could have a wide range of draws. So if he does have two pair, he has two pair. We're still calling. And he has king 9. And we're fortunate enough to hold. So now we have a pretty solid 5-1 chip lead. And we're happy to play smaller. We'll see if he's tilting at all from that hand. Hopefully we'll finish this one quick and get one more game in on this video. I'm going to call here with the double gutter and the flush draw, the 7-high flush draw, and we missed them both, so we just insta-fold. It's 3x'd it. We'll call with a jack 8 here. Flopped middle pair, 3 hard board. He checks behind. Maybe he'll give us a check down here. Not going to try anything fancy. And we'll just give it to him. Going to min raise here, this king high. He calls, not a good flop for us. So we're just going to check behind. Played pretty cautiously against him. He gets pretty aggressive, so if we can just hit a few flops, that's a pretty solid runner for us. Bet 3-4 spot. Hope he calls with an 8. Although, yeah, he will call with an 8, I think. So I'm guessing he did call with the 8. No, he actually called with the 6. Alright, it's going to get into a... No, we both have 4s. I was about to say get into a flip situation. Yeah, it's a pretty interesting call there with the 7-6. Wow, that's... Basically gonna put bet enough to commit him if he wants to go all in. She does. Alright, we're off to the races. I'm gonna peel, see if I can get lucky on the peel. Good board for us. Okay. Alright, so after playing that hand pretty badly, we got that match back on him. So we're gonna play one more against him. The match that we won, I wouldn't call that a cooler. I would not advocate just open shipping for infinite big blinds with the king 9 there. And again, on a draw heavy board, we're probably not just going to fold the king queen. And I mean, we're not against someone who has played, who we have a history with and plays really aggressively. Not going to fold, and we're lucky enough to have it hold. So even Steven. This is the grudge match, and hopefully we can beat this guy because he's pretty annoying. Any questions you guys have on these videos, like I've said in all my other videos, email me. I try to get back to the emails as quickly as possible. If I haven't gotten back to it, just send it to me again until I do. It's not intentional for me to to get back to him slowly. And if there's anything else you guys want to see, anything, any good feedback, any bad feedback on the videos, just feel free to leave comments on them. Like I really am not 100% sure what you guys expect or you guys want to see delved into further, or me playing on different sites, me playing different stakes, me playing $5 sit and goes, me playing $1,000 ones, 500, any stakes. The feedback is really important, and it's tough. It's tough to know what you guys want without letting me know. So just comment on the video. If I'm playing like dog shit, let me know that I am. If I'm playing pretty well, let me know that too, and then I'll just try to keep coming out with the videos that can help you guys the best. Just not really a reason to get involved there with a 6-7 offsuit. And I feel like the first hand we 3-bet him, he's gonna jam. So if we pick up a big pair, we're gonna deliberate and then 3-bet it. Okay, it's good chance to take a stab at the pot on the semi-bluff. He calls river brick. I don't really think that he's never going to fold a jack or a 10 there. So we're just going to check fold. Not going to try to make any elaborate plays on him right now. Oh wow, we were good. So he must have had a hand like 9-8 or 8-7 and contemplated. Yeah, Queen 8. So that was a fun one. Okay, and check behind quickly. See what he wants to do on the turn. Gonna call here with the king high. Not necessarily sold on him having us beat. And then he bets half pot. So I don't really think that he would bluff here. Yeah. Okay, no, I guess we'll believe him. But yeah, I mean, anything that you guys have, anything you find interesting about the videos, just pretty much anything. Just leave the comment. If you watch the video and liked it, leave a comment about that, just so that I can get a general feel for what you guys like and dislike, what you want me to explain more of, less of, and I'll do my best to really make these the best videos on the site. I'm going to try. I mean, I've been trying pretty hard to adjust from those early videos when I played 4 and 5 tables and really wasn't getting any clear concepts across to anybody. So I'm trying harder to communicate what I feel is going on and helping you guys to understand. Going to defend here with the king 10. Flopped a pretty good flop for us. Still a lot of hands beating us on that board. He checks behind. We're going to check the turn and see what he does, and then if he checks again, we'll value the river. And it gives us a chance for him to bet with less. Call river, pretty bad card. We'll see what he bets. I don't think he has an ace. I don't know why. I think that he might. I don't know. I'm kind of curious. I wouldn't really recommend making this call unless you have a certain read, but I don't think he has an ace, so I'm gonna call him, look him up. And yeah, he actually had a 9, so frustrating. I don't think an ace really made sense to bet there on the turn, but totally misread him and didn't peg him for a 9 there. Frustrating hand. I don't think it's as bad as it. We're going to fire out with a 75% C bet. I don't think it's as bad as his 7-6 call, though. That was pretty interesting. Okay, we hit a pretty good river for us. Going to bet out quick. Would expect him to definitely call with an ace, and he folds. So it probably means that he called with a king on the turn. Alright, these 2 6s. Going to 3-bet him to 2-10. Sometimes I'll call, but against an aggressive player, I don't really. We're getting it in here. We're not folding, and we're gonna peel and see if we can win a flip. Or I don't think he has a bigger pair often, so we're calling, and he has 9s. So yeah, he does have a bit. Whoa! Say it ain't so. The suck out. It feels good. All right, how to play bad and win. Nice. Although I don't really think it's too bad of a play against a person who shoved on her previous 1 or 2, 3. I mean, against a person who does that. I don't think that getting in 6s is terrible. I mean, it's obviously decreasing our edge, but after we put in 210 chips and have another 1,000 to call off, and don't really put them on a bigger pair too often, put them on a racing situation a lot, then it's a call. And now I'm going to have some fun and chat it up with him. Okay, now we just got to hold on here. Making fun of my city, Pittsburgh. Good guy here. You got a good guy. Alright, no more chatting. Time to just focus and hopefully pick up some hands and finish him off. Just folding the waiter from the button. Don't really want to limp when he's been playing pretty aggressive from the big. Alright, got the 2 deuces. Gonna triple, and if he shoves, probably calling all in. Good flop for us, 6-6-4. 2 diamonds. I'm just going to check behind, though. Not really get a little tricky, but I don't feel that comfortable getting it in on that board. Of course, the turn card counterfeits us, which is the downside of not c-betting there. Now we're going to take a stab and try to convince him that we might have an ace. And he folded. So we turned a chop into a win for us, which is always good. King 10, sometimes I would ship here. As I said, it was fine getting it in these 50-50 and 60-40, 40-60 situations, but don't always want to play one way, so I'm just going to call this time. And I mean, if we flop a king or a 10, there's probably a pretty good chance he's shipping. He's pretty nutso. Tripling, gonna call all in here. We're up against an ace, so take a chance to eliminate. Gonna peel it. See a face. No. Alright, and he's back. And I'm sure he's gonna comment something. Okay, defend with the queen 8. Flopped second nut flush draw. These hands can be tricky to play. Gonna fire out a c-bet. Don't think he's gonna check raise us here a lot. And we rivered the second nut flush. We're going to get tricky and check it. Hope that he has some piece. No, didn't. And it didn't work. Though he might have had... He probably had a 7, if I had to guess. 7 or a king high. Yeah, 2 5s. Just plays virtually the same as a 7 or a king high. I'm going to limp. Some of you guys might wonder why I'm limping shitty hands like this. Basically, just to min bet the flop. I'm going to try to play some small ball, intertwine with some triples, try to confuse him a little bit. Defend with the king 7. And we flop a king high. Not a believer here. Gonna call. And I think this might be a hand where he might try to blow us off of it, so we're going to see what his turn bet sizing is. Yeah, he bets half pot. It doesn't really look like we have an ace. It looks like we might have a flush draw, so I'm going to call with the king high. Not a believer, really. So maybe we're just getting level and getting taken to value town. We'll see what he does here on the river. That's another half pot bet. God, putting ourselves in some stupid spots. I don't know. Now I feel like he has an ace, but I still feel like it. Our hand doesn't look like an ace, so I'm gonna call because I'm kind of curious what he has. And he had 10 high. So sometimes it pays to put yourself in interesting spots, but again, it doesn't look like we have an ace there. It seems like pretty easy for him to be able to just blow us off of a hand. But we called down correctly, so it feels good. Now we have about a 3-1 chip lead again. Again, going to get this hand in with him. If he open shoves, probably going to call. Instead he does that. I'm just going to ship on him. And those pots are key. Those take away about 1/8 of a stack. Some epic chat. Now I'm going to have fun with them a little bit. And we're going to ship on him again with the king high. Shoving here with the jack 9 when he has 12.5 big blinds. This is pretty close here with the king high. I think he could be shoving lighter, so I'm going to call, and it's another chance to eliminate. So we're ahead of jack 10. And we got the win. So that felt good to go felt good to beat him. Now we're just gonna see if he wants to chat for a little bit. I do like playing players like this. A lot of people complain about how they run bad, etc., etc., just ridiculous things, and it's just funny. And I'll get into a little, even though I never take this seriously. I'll get into a little mini mini chat, mini chatting against guys like this. I just think it's funny. So I went 2-1 there. I think we played after that first hand on the first match was really just pretty bad. Yeah, that sucked. But definitely made a misread there, and that was a pretty bad read. But after that, we really geared up, focused. We got in that king queen versus king nine, and yeah, after that, pretty much had a good way with him. So feels good to get those wins, and I'll see you guys next time.